Evening all, and welcome to episode 37 of Kerbalism. Now last time out we sent some probes round to the Moon and to Minmus, as well as Kerbin, to map the resources of the planets and moons respectively. I discovered that on arriving at Minmus we haven't actually done any surveys of the land there. We haven't sent these ScanSat probes up there to actually give us the biome data, the height maps, all that sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm sending this small probe over to Minmus just to scan it to get as much information out of it as possible. However, along the way we receive a message that the station is out of water, and our two brave Kerbals, Lisa and Kerndrad, are licking condensation off the walls. And that's not good for them or the equipment. So we need to do something about it. There is only one pod on the station, so one Kerbal can come home, the other can't. So we're going to have to do a good old-fashioned rescue mission. Now, even though I put parachutes on a lot of the components to try and recover them, the boosters appear to crash into each other, which clearly not what we want. We want to actually recover them and get back some money, so I'll have to have a look at that. And after a few manoeuvres, I parked the pod just a little way away from the station so Lita Kerman can transfer herself over to it nice and easily. However, this new pod does have the resource in it. It's got water. The old one will not. So therefore, Kerndrad, you're going to have to come home first. And of course the trip back to Kerbin is a fairly straightforward one. Fire the engine to slow down enough for the atmosphere to grab you, let the atmosphere slow you down enough to be caught by gravity, and then deploy your parachutes and have a nice gentle splashdown in the ocean. Welcome back, Kerndrad. And of course it's the same procedure for Lisa. Slow down the ship enough to let gravity take a hold, deploy the parachute, and slowly come down on solid ground. So the only thing left to do is take our satellite out to Minmus, put it in orbit, and let the scanners on board perform their magic. All the data has been returned to us. We have 353 science points now, which means we can finally unlock the new solar panels. Hurrah! We've also got an air filtration container. I'm not entirely sure what that does. I think that extracts things from the oxygen. That is K&K's version of that. So yeah, not really sure about what the filtration system is, unless it's able to extract oxygen and things from atmospheres that aren't breathable by Kerbals. How can I explain that? Duna has an atmosphere. It's not a very good atmosphere. Kerbals can't breathe it, but it's possible that these would be able to extract things from that atmosphere. So yeah, that's probably what it is. I don't think they'd be of any use on the moon, although I might send one up for a laugh. The big battery is useful, but yes, the Gigantor solar array. There are probably some other things here I can get science experiments. That's a new one, and not of anything. So yes, solar panels. Okie dokie. And with the unlock of them giant solar panels, we can put in the final piece of the station, where I toggle the gear here, which opens the solar panels, and as you can see, they look so much better than them small little ones. That should be well enough to produce enough electricity to charge everything. We have unlocked some bigger batteries, so I may add them into the center column here somewhere. That central column piece there is actually hollow, so I could just replace that with batteries, possibly. I'm not too sure yet, but it's doable, it's possible. And yeah, I think this is, turn the phrase, its final form. This is what it will look like once it's in orbit. That's the idea, and there's something I've always wanted to do. Since I built this station and went back and looked at the videos, I always thought that we've got a little sort of balcony here. So, Valentina Kerbal, have a walk around the balcony. Excellent, look at that. Proper little airlock. The Kerbals could come flying in, land here, walk up to the door, and there we go. They can get in and job done. Excellent. Excellent. There is a gap between these two, I believe. Yep, we can see that there's a gap. That's the way they're attached, that's why there are some struts here, but I think all in all that's pretty good. Just figuring out how the big thing with the danger signs works. That's our next goal. Well, actually no, the next goal is to put this whole station up there. And here she is in all her glory. The main core is under there, ready to launch, and this is gonna be by far the largest and most ambitious launch I have done in a legitimate career mode. I've obviously played with ridiculously sized vessel in sort of the sandbox mode, but no, for a career run, I think this is the best I've done. It is 342,000 kilos, I think. I'm not sure what those two numbers. I think one's with fuel, one's without. But yeah, it's big, and I'm hoping it'll go into orbit without exploding. Now, this is obviously the first time. This is brand new design vessel here. I've hit the first guess button, and it's given me numbers. It has figured out things here, so I'm going to trust gravity turn and see what happens. I think the turn angle might be a little bit too sharp, but then this has got a lot of fins on the bottom and fins up here. I have put parachutes on everything down the bottom here, but stage recovery in the VAB couldn't actually tell me whether anything could be recovered or not. It didn't even have the stages listed. It just had stage 0 and nothing. So it didn't appear to understand what had been going on here. So yeah, but oh, I suppose the best way to find out would be to push the launch button and see what happens. And here we are. Gravity turn has sent us all the way up. We've got 150 kilometer apoaps, 82 periaps, so that's actually put us in orbit. Now the strange thing is, this craft had 3,600 meters at delta V in the VAB. and it takes 4,000 and about 4,000 to get to low Kerbal orbit. Now I'm apparently at 150 and 81, and I've used nothing near that. So either though, I don't think those numbers are wrong. I think I'm missing something here. I think obviously as the craft gets higher, it gets lighter, and therefore its delta V would increase. So that's probably what's going on there. On the ground, if all the engines were to fire, that's what the delta V reading is, and as you ascend, it gives you more and more and more. So you don't actually need the full 4,000 on the surface to get into orbit. It's apparently less than that. But anyway, we are here. There are no Kerbals on board. This is completely remote controlled by the little tug here. So let's put this in orbit. A nice stable orbit of about 150. I wanted to go with 150 because that lets you time accelerate faster. So let's go away and wow, they're really twitchy those ones. There we go, that'll do. So let's put this in orbit and take it from there. And here we are at a nice 150k orbit above Kerbal, using basically no fuel, which means that we've already got one fuel tank up here. It does need to be moved because it shouldn't be attached to this center point here. It should be there, and it is on a decoupler. So yeah, I hadn't really planned how to move this tank here. It's not got anything to connect to it. It's in the way from those there. For the minute, it can just stay on the bottom, and I'll figure it out later. We'll send the other bits up first, get some bits and pieces going here. This does obviously have the winch on it, so maybe we could just attach to it and drag it off to one side, and then maybe put something on it to reattach it. But anyway, for now, I want to decouple that there, which unfortunately means that we now no longer have control of the station. But we do have control of this little thing here, which I believe if we move ourselves away a bit. Whoop. It's a little bit twitchy. I think that's more me than anything. So I'm going to control from the opposite end. Set my target as that little node there. This should be fairly simple. Oh, we are apparently upside down, so let's spin over. There we are. Now my controls make sense. Except I don't have full control. That's the problem. I don't have anywhere to go up or down. That's a very bad description, sorry. What do I mean by that? I've got these here which go up, down, left, right, but I've got no way of pushing that way or that way. So I can't, like now we're heading off over here and I want to move that way. So I'd have to actually turn the vessel and fire that way a little bit, which is not ideal. Not what I want. So we've already found the first problem with these little tugs. I've engineered them badly. there we go. And we are attached. Excellent. Now we can turn the RCS back on. Well, sorry, the SCS back on. And I believe I should be able to, if I control from here. Should be able to stand this whole thing up, which is what I want to do. And there we are. A bit too far there, but that's okay. There we are, in all our glory. The centre stage is complete. Now we've just got to send up the rest. And whilst I was positioning this, just getting it aimed correctly, I noticed that it's actually enough to complete the contract. Nowhere on the contract does it say you actually need Kerbals in it. It just says it has to support, have a facility supporting at least 5 Kerbals, which this does. Yes, because the Hitchhiker has 4 seats in it and the Cupboard has 1, so that's 5 Kerbals. So yes, we've completed the contract and didn't even need to do anything really to get it done. So, with the completion of that contract, I decided to come and have a look at what other islands we have. And we've got one for the Sentinel Infrared Telescope, the one that comes with the asteroid pack. This one tells me to put a Sentinel Infrared Telescope in solar orbit in Kerbin's blind spot, which is apparently 10 billion meters away from the sun. I assume, I'm not sure how far Kerbin is from the sun, but obviously that's going to be, I think, closer to the sun than Kerbin is. So it doesn't give us much money or reputation. To be honest with you, there's a mission here that we've got to throw 6 tourists everywhere, but it gives me 302 rep, which is quite nice, but I'm not doing that. I am going to go with this one here. I'm not doing the tourist one because they want to send 6 people to Minmus, round the moon, back again. It's doable, but reputation isn't really, well, not really needed, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to pick that contract up and we'll have a look at the telescope. Not now because I'm building the station, but it's just something that I want to have a look at. We've got a few rescue missions as well. Rescue in orbit of Kerbin. That might be easy to do once the station's running. So yeah, let's get back to building this station. And with the launch of some more rockets, ferrying all the necessary parts we need up to the station, we can use the little tugs we put up there to gather all the pieces and connect them up to exactly where they need to be. And then slowly but surely can see a station take shape. And with the structure complete and all systems fully operational, the last thing left to do is to populate it. So, Jeb, Bill and Bob, welcome to Kanica Station. We hope you enjoy your stay. And with the hours and hours of putting this together and getting everything where it needs to go, I really can't wait to actually get started with it. So, first things first, let's put the crew where they need to be. Transfer crew. There. Right, so, transfer crew. We will transfer Jeb up into the cupola because that's a good place to be. We will transfer Bill Kerman, our engineer, over into the rocket factory. Good place for him to go. And we will transfer Bob Kerman over to the science bay because that's where he needs to be as well. I've got to keep an eye on some of the life support. Apparently our ammonia is quite short, but that's not a problem. I've not got everything enabled in here. I've got the scrubber stopped on this one. I've got it running in that one, but again stopped over there. I'm not sure what I need, where I need it, so at the moment they're going off, and if I get any warnings I can turn them on. But the main thing I want to play with here is this little thing here. I want to know how you recycle stuff. I'm not entirely sure how it does its thing. So let's refill my mono repellent tanks on my little pods here. This top one's completely empty. There are two different designs. The one down here is a refined design. It actually has thrusters on the side allowing me to move laterally, because this one had real problems actually trying to move left and right. So yeah, that wasn't exactly well planned, but it's still a useful thing nonetheless. And there's our large monopropellant tank completely drained before we even started. I didn't realise these little tugs actually hold so much, but oh well, doesn't matter. That's what it's for. So let's undock our little pod here. And I want to take this here, this strut. This was used to bring up all the little pylons that I've got here that attach things to it. It was just a framework for that. So I want to attach that, bring it around to the recycler, undock this and fly it away first before I enable the recycler, because I don't want it to be recycled. All the same. So let's control from here and head over to there. And turn off the RCS, turn off the SAS, let the magnets do the trick. There we are. One thing I've definitely learnt using these little pods to move things around is patience. You really need to tell it to move at like 0.2 of a meter a second and just let it glide. Don't force it, don't accelerate hard, because, well, not so bad when you're attached to a station, but when this sort of thing is free floating and you come in and even so much as tap the side of it, it's going to go spinning off, and trying to dock with something that's spinning in space isn't that much fun. Oh no, we don't want to undock. No. We want to control from here. There we are. So, we want to be travelling that way. Right, so we shall now undock from this and move away. There we are. Switch back to our station. No. Station, please. Ah, there we are. And my camera over here. And before that floats away, oh no, 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 no. Active. No! It's been caught on something. Now, this is what I mean by trying to attach onto something that is moving. Because now you do have to sort of chase it down. And here we are, back at the station after that rather long and embarrassing chasing down of the scaffold. Let's try this again, shall we? Let's bring this in close to it. I'm not entirely sure how you enable the recycler. Well, I know how to enable it, but what I mean is I don't quite know how it works. Apparently here. Let's undock this again and see what happens this time. So, you move away. We switch over to this, aim the camera. We activate that. And we get a little clump. And it's not apparently doing anything. Right. Aha! Aha! There we are! It's decoupling stuff that's nearby. So you have to park the ships right next to it. And that's given us 239 metal. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. We are full on rocket parts. I did send up all the rocket parts with the pod fill so we could build things. That was the idea. But I honestly thought I'd have more monopropellant spare. This little craft here, let's aim the camera at this here so you can see it. There are this little pod that's on the side here. It's got life support and science bays and other bits and pieces to do there. It has enough fuel in its tank to go to the surface of the moon from orbit of Kerbal, land, take back off again, and get back to the orbit of Kerbal, just with the fuel tank in it, with the fuel in its tank. Plus, it's got the monopropellant on the side, which has been used. Oh, of course, yes, it's been used because I've used time to move around. But yeah, so that's capable of going to. I'm gonna probably take it to Minmus. Do some science experiments there, get some surface samples, come back, process them in the lab, and yeah, see what we can see. I didn't put a large antenna on this. It's got, if you can see them very, very carefully there, two little spikes, one there and one there. Little antennas just to communicate with Kerbal, but should probably bring up a larger one so that it can communicate quicker. That would probably help. But yeah, so that's how the recycler works. We'll have to figure out how to actually get things to stay in this area here. Should maybe build a framework around it. Did put a little docking port underneath, so if I need to build a framework, I suppose I could. A little collector framework, and then yeah, sort it out from there. But let's redock our probe on that one there. That will do. And the power magnets. Haven't had one spring off into oblivion so far, but I can see that happening. But anyway, yeah, that's a success, I would think. Kanica station is in orbit. She is operational. There's one little change I have to do on this here. This doesn't have a docking port attached to it, so I need to do that and attach it down here. But that won't be difficult. We do have Bill Kerman, our trusty engineer, although he doesn't have any tools yet. But we're going to send up more Kerbals anyway. But yeah, I am happy with that. we have a station that's much better looking than the old one. I think the old one, wherever it is, there it is, station. I think I'm going to bring that one to this station and just recycle it, I suppose. Stick it here, get the recycler to eat it up and use it. Use it for spare parts to build newer, bigger and more fantastic ships to go to the moon, to Minmus and beyond. But of course, that's all to come in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've enjoyed making it, I know that much. And I do hope to see you again in the next one. Until then, as always, have fun.